Good evening, everybody. This is Caitlin, and today I will be talking about gender roles. And this is my dog Bailey. If you guys want to say hello to him, it's a puppy, Pomeranian, and poodle mix. So today I wanted to talk about gender roles, and something that I experienced when I was younger was I always felt different um, from most girls my age. And the reason why I say this is because a lot of girls had interests like Barbie or stuff like that. But for me, I always resonated more with like other things that the boys like. And the tendency for me was to hang out with boys more, even though the gender role or whatever the stereotype is that girls are supposed to hang out with girls and guys are supposed to hang out with guys. And so that kind of ruined the perception of me as like, is there like something wrong? Am I supposed to be hanging out with girls more? And I kind of noticed this as well when I started middle school, that I was hanging out with guys more, and a lot of them, were weird, but I I just got along with them because that's just the type of people that I stuck with more because I was a very shy girl growing up, and this actually started in middle school. I started to become very shy and very anxious, but there's one thing for sure, and it's that I got along with the guys more, mostly because they had similar interests and they just seemed more open. While when I converse with girls, I tend to have the tendency to just not, to get nervous because, as a girl who's very shy, awkward, I'm not really as shy when it comes to seeing guys and just talking to them. And so that's why I kind of just grew up with, a lot of more guy friends growing up. And of course, that kind of changed in high school because I had a lot of girlfriends as well who had pretty much the same personality and interests as me. So it was just mostly a time in my life that I grew up with guys, and that's still the case. I have a lot of friends that are guys and girls, so it's a mix of both. But I would say that it's pretty much one of the only gender roles that I had was, I feel like I had a loss of perception for myself because I feel like I was different from other girls, or had different interests from other girls, or I feel like I didn't have a lot of friends that were girls, and so I felt like I'm supposed to be friends with girls, which I was friends with girls. But as middle school came in, elementary kind of like I said, but once middle school came in, I kind of just was like, you know why don't I have a lot of friends that are girls? And every time I would talk to girls, I'd be very awkward. But when it came to guys, I honestly didn't care. I didn't care about the perception of them. I didn't care how they perceived me. And so I wasn't really awkward because I could just be myself. Because I didn't care if they perceived me in a different way. But if somebody, like a girl, perceived me in a different way or perceived me like, oh, you're weird, then, I'll feel horrible about myself. But if it was a guy telling me that I am weird, I don't really care because, like I said, in general and stuff. So that's just my viewpoint. And for the longest time, I grew up with women. I grew up with my mother and my sister for a long time because she was a single mom for about, I'll say, 5 to 10 years, and eventually my stepdad came in, and so he became like a father figure to me, and I learned a lot of things from him. And so he was one of the first male interactions that I've probably like really had. And of course I had a lot of guy friends as well, but I would just say that he really helped me, kind of learn how to make more friends and stuff like that. And so one of the things that I mostly struggled with was trying to make friends with girls. And so, like I said, that kind of ruined my perception of myself. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, have a good evening, everybody. I hope you guys sleep well and have a good night.